Say hello, everyone. Um, it's huge. Does this still work? Okay. Still works. Shader intensity, whatever. Uh, I think I like the bright one. These options can, yeah, it's easier to see. They're all static. Oh, fine. Keep the little. These options can be changed at any point via the function keys. Okay, back. I don't want it to like change the volume. Oh well. Here we go. I know nothing about this game. Bede bought this game and she was like, "Hey, you gotta play this. If Elden Ring doesn't, so Elden Ring doesn't work. Just update. I don't know what's going on with it. It's very question mark. I feel like this is really loud. Hopefully that's a little better. This should be like more ambiance, right? Okay. Anyways, yeah. So Elden Ring no worky question mark. I can load it up, but as soon as I start OBS, it breaks. Or if I have OBS open and then try to open Elden Ring, it just doesn't work. So I don't know. Question mark. Anyways, yeah, this is watering my grandpa so he grows. And
You're just assuming.
mm-hmm. I don't know if you can hear Bead. Hopefully she picks up well enough on the mic. Oh no, you're really quiet. Never mind.
Good.
You gotta like speak up.
I don't
Speak up,
wanna.
god damn it.
I'm just talking to you.
Too bad. You're still picking up on the mic. So don't fart too loudly.
I'll fart as loud as I want. Grow him, hurry. Grow grandpa.
We ready to grow?
Please.
Please grow my grandfather. All right, let's grow him. Would you like to view the tutorial regarding basic game mechanics? Yeah. Please read. This game is designed to be played with a mouse. The input required of you is based around clicking the mouse buttons. The right mouse button will change the cursor's image and function. Only when pointing, indicated by the extended index finger, can you, the player, interact with certain menu buttons and prompts. Please click below in the pointing mode to continue. Oh, look at that. Okay. The second cursor mode is indicated by the cursor's image featuring a hand extending all fingers. This mode concerns interacting with objects inside the world, mainly picking up an object and moving it into another position. To continue, please pick up the piece of trash on the right and place it in the trash can on the left. Oh, this is gonna be really hard for me to play. My left mouse click is really broken. So if I have to drag stuff often, it's gonna suck. Remember, the right mouse button will change the cursor's mode, but when holding something, the mode cannot be changed until the cursor is not holding something. Oh, okay, it's just like a single click. That's it. There will be many situations in growing my grandpa that will require you to pick things up, place things, grab things, or give things. Don't be afraid to experiment and keep an open mind about using your hand. Please click the button below to continue. Remember, many buttons must be clicked in the pointer mode. In order to expedite the cleaning process, you can use digits 1, 2, and 3 on your keyboard's number row at the top of the keyboard. Okay, thank you. To reposition the trash can below, try moving the can to the right of the screen, 3 on your keyboard, in order to continue. Well done. Please click the continue button to move on. Please remember menu buttons must be clicked in the pointer mode. Yeah. Variety of video options can be changed anytime through the use of the function keys F3, 4, 5. Let's see. I can turn that off. Turn the wiggles off. Shader effects, resolution, cursor types. By default, growing my grandpa display is scaled up by a factor of 2 and the shader is set at low. Configuration options overlay. Yes, that's it. Hovering over the small question mark at the top right provides an overlay related to available configuration options. Try hovering over it. This will be available at all times during the game. Oh, it tells you. Okay, yeah.
That's nice.
Thus ends the tutorial. Hope you enjoy growing my grandpa. Infinite thanks to my patrons and supporters for believing in me and my work. James. I mean, Yames.
Week 1 with Grandpa.
Yay, Grandpa. Is that Grandpa? I excused Adrian during music class today and spoke with her about her recent string of what?
Demerits.
Oh, demerits.
Why did you get hung up on that?
I don't know why I thought that was like a creature from another planet. That's what my mind thought. It was like demerites from the planet Demeri.
Why does she have so many demerits?
Demerites. I don't know.
Come on.
What?
Read.
What are you in a rush for?
I don't know. I'm excited.
You're funny. It was our first time meeting outside of our quarterly evaluations, and I believe it went well. I can certainly understand Mrs. Richardson's classroom observations concerning Adrian's emotional state. She was, of course, intensely shy when we first met. As I understand it, she is similarly withdrawn in her classroom activities and only speaks or acts when she absolutely must. Some things she simply will not do. Instead of participating in mandatory group activities, she will sit alone and accept all that she will receive a demerit.
That's fair.
Before the meeting, I read Miss Dick's parent-teacher...
What?
Huh?
What are you even saying? Actually read.
Dixon's? Mrs. Dixon's parent-teacher report, which allowed me to estimate some about Adrian's home life. The parents are well educated and come from a prestigious background, but they lack time to properly nurture Adrian. Adrian Brody. She is often alone, and when she is not, the parents seem to not understand the importance of warmth and affirmation when dealing with someone so young. Having two parents of this reserved and icy temperament exacts an inhibition in a child. The child's imagination is subdued, but only ostensibly, for it eventually finds its way into regular life. I surmise that I would be able to reach out to Adrian by way of make-believe. What? How are you liking your new house? You've told me you used to live close by, but it still can be a big adjustment. A new room, a new school.
The basement. I like that.
Oh my god.
The basement?
Yeah. With a lot of cool stuff. Mom and Dad sent me down there.
What?
Stop.
Look at her. She's a little goblin freak.
Oh, so you like goblins. You're a liar.
I like goblins. That's their voices. You want to voice her?
No.
I gotta try and do I have to try and do a girl voice. 2, I have to try and do a young girl voice. 3, she's obviously demented by the devil. She's possessed.
God.
Well, I guarantee that apple is gonna like rot before our eyes. She's gonna touch it and it's gonna go and turn into like mush with a maggot.
It? You're calling it right now?
That's what I just did. I just called it.
Well, let's keep going.
Did I read this? I think I did. Your mom and dad made you go?
Yeah, but
I hate it.
there's lots of cool stuff. Well, maybe not why they sent me down there, no.
Why did you send you down there?
What?
For fighting. They were for fighting, shouting. I came in to help and they shouted at me. They said, go clean up downstairs. No, I went.
That sounds tough. Do they fight a lot?
No. But, well, did they,
It's all right, Adrian. Maybe you can tell me more about the basement instead.
Okay. Well, it was weird enough, but cool. I found something living going on.
What are you even saying? Stop.
I'm reading the dialogue. Are you reading along?
Yes, but I hate it. Be better at this.
What do you mean be better at this? That's a good voice. It's the perfect look at this character.
It's like baby demented March voice, and I hate it.
Baby demented Marge voice. Look. It's fine. You gonna do her voice? Do her voice for me.
No.
Then you're gonna get baby demented Goblin Marge.
Fine.
Okay. That's very interesting, Adrian. Please tell me more. Sorry, I died. Okay, I'm back. By indulging her in her fantasies and stories, I was able to glean more of an understanding of Adrian's anxiety surrounding her home in Parents. The symbols of Adrian's story seem to carry their own traumatic weight, and her exploration of the basement may very well be a vehicle for the conveyance of her anxiety. Whatever might come out of our next meeting, whether she will engage in similar make-believe, I will set down her story here.
This is my special story.
Adrian's story will begin with her delving into the basement with a trash receptacle and the goal of cleaning up. She discovered one of the walls was covered in plastic bags. She went to investigate, intent on tearing away whatever they covered. Trash bags. Which one's the shaders? I don't know. I guess I'll keep it on low for now. Trash bags. Oh, there's worms. Upon removing the plastic trash bags from the wall, she noticed their interior lining was covered in glass.
Oh no.
Like a window, I offered. No, she said, like a mirror. Reflecting inward towards the animal they covered. What? I gently asked her what exactly this animal was. Here is where the material reality of the story took a turn for the explicitly fantastic and imaginary. Upon her discovery of it, at her gaze, it grew or extended its shaggy-haired self, like hair like the fur of a dog, I offered. No, she said. Not the fur of a dog, nor the hair on her head. It grew out towards her, the animal's hair, reaching out. It was hard, standing almost straight, like the hair on a brush. A bristle, I offered. Yes, she said. She was very afraid at first, but then very curious. I asked her what else was in the room. More things hidden away, she said, things of Grandpa's as well. First, she found a hidden passage under the stairs. Inside were strange dolls, magic objects, naked, faceless figures. I can't look at this, can I?
They won't show.
Might have to censor this.
No.
I heard these cryptic utterances and merely nodded. In order to keep the game of make-believe going, I only pressed for details where I thought necessary. The faceless dolls could be a simple metaphor for the anonymity she feels in her own home. The hidden passage, I am unsure of what to make of that. The revealing of the concealed seems to be the thematic in her fantasy. The door under the stairs is but one example. What's this? Poke it. Can I grab it?
It's a thing.
Thing. It's Grandpa.
That chair.
Chair. The darkness of the shadowy corner unnerves you. You cannot explore here without some form of light. Can I touch these things? Trash pile. Question marks. Let's look at the question marks. Oh, it's the passage. Can I... Oh. Oh. Once she removed the panel and found the magical hidden passage, she was very specific about what she took. She found a magic book, a magic doll, a photo of her late grandpa, and magic glue.
Gotta have a magic glue. Look, there's a goblin.
Goblin. Take doll. A slouching doll. Its material is rough and coarse.
Looks cute. I like it.
Search closet.
Yay, trashes.
Love trashes.
What's that?
Ah, it's a book. A notebook. I gotta clean up all the trash. It's required.
Ooh, there's the glue.
I already forgot what it said we took. All clean. This space will not be dirty again until next week.
Gotta keep Grandpa's room clean.
All-purpose glue.
AKA magic glue.
Oh, it's a photo of your late grandfather.
Grandpa's horrifying.
He's really pretty. Look at the little, it's a :3. What's it, what does it say? MN?
Mr.
PhD? Mr. PhD?
I don't like him. What is continue or read now?
Let's read now. It's Mr. PhD. On the reverse side of the photograph, there is more text. Good luck on your trip to the Urals. Stay warm. Papers crudely bound together to form a book. It says Eurasian steep step shamanism in the fusiform gyrus, an interdisciplinary study in sympathetic magic, a dissertation, Jacob Hart.
Oh, so he's going to the Ural Mountains because he talks about Eurasian steppe shamanism.
And fusiform. Future form.
Interesting. So the Ural Mountains are in Kazakhstan.
I forgot how to do this. Do I do it here? How do I do this?
Here, I'll delete them. Gift this up to them.
Okay. The impetus of this research was the recognition of a particular pattern in fragments of documents relating to magic and magico-religious practices. Numerous sources were drawn from commentaries on laws relating to the banning of sorcery and necromancy, compilations of folk charms relating to love spells, hagiographs of saints and their encounters with devils. The list spans many centuries and a great distance, from the Levant to the Khazar Khaganate, to the border of the modern nation states of Russia and Kazakhstan today. From this paper trail arose a consistent account about a certain form of magic relating to the binding of demons to a sorcerer's will. A demon called the Heaven of Needles, or the Angel of Needles, was known to be kept best by shamanic keepers or wards who suffer from face blindness, prosopagnosia, whether by birth or through developmental causes like a stroke or head injury. It was known to be extremely effective but terribly dangerous, so much so that it became outlawed several times and was generally a popular scapegoat relating to unexpected death. This nexus of magico-religious meaning-making... What? Magico-religious meaning-making, sorcery regarding human-related desires, and the history and science of neurological disorders related to the fusiform gyrus is where the subject of the... Is this important? Because I'm retaining, like, none of this. These are just... It's word soup to me. Is where the subject of this dissertation will reside. I will outline further. They analyze the historical sources I mentioned previously. Then I will go into the neurology and mystic and magico-religious experiences. After that, I will detail my ongoing correspondence with a resident of the Ural Mountain region who is an expert folklorist and keeper of traditions he claims have been passed down through his extended family for generations. Okay. I interrupted to ask what she did with these magical, mysterious materials. Grow Grandpa, she explained plainly, and then, without missing a beat, she continued on with her story. Feeling this was a potent symbol, I stopped her again to ask what she meant. Somewhat puzzled, I did not understand immediately. She explained slowly. Grandpa lives in the cage in the other room, the cage behind the door. They grew people in the cage. Okay.
Oh, we cleaned it up.
What?
The trash pile.
No, went in here. It's the little closet under the stairs. The trash pile seems to have nothing I can interact with. Clean up the trash, little kid.
Pet, pet. What's the note say? Is that note?
A hastily written note. Oops. I wanted to read that. How do I inventory?
Oh, man.
How do I read that?
Oh, I wanted to read it.
How do I read it?
Boo, you fucked up.
Did I fuck up? Is there an inventory anywhere? It's not even like a menu. How do I menu?
You don't need a menu where we're going.
Oh, look, there's more things. Lab orientation. What? A note on an experiment. 1-4. 1. For the sake of university policy and the health of any future career you hope to have, you will abide by the non-disclosure contract you have signed. 2. Do not break the anthropoidic vacuum without my prior consultation and approval. 3. Any anthropoidic forms brought into the enclosure area must not be left unattended. When not in dormancy, the sample will attempt to take anthropoid shells. Please see shell notes for more on that. Read now. 4. The sample's exposure to some of the neuronal activity is unavoidable. However, the speed at which its desirous yield is produced can be dampened by several precautions regarding libidinal and emotional urges. Keep conversation not related to lab work to a minimum. If you begin to suspect you are developing attachments to your colleagues, contact me as soon as possible. Ritual behavior with the sample, trading, bargaining, will result in dismissal from the project. The precise mechanism of the exchange of symbols and gifts required for a requested desirous yield is not known, and even then, anecdotal accounts of success are end in violent death. Regarding growth cycles, every time Whiskers regenerates and leaves dormancy, it is to be logged as a new propagation. The sample's bodily existence cannot be, i.e., a part cannot be cut from the whole, so there can only be one living propagation. Propagations are to be terminated after 5 weeks.
Take that home with you.
Any further development puts us at risk. Termination procedures will be posted and followed with extreme care. With all of that out of the way, I want to welcome you to the project. I look forward to working with you, Dr. Hart. How do I read the note? Beyond the door, in the room, the cage was hidden, concealed in another cloak of inward-facing mirrors. A hidden cage lined with mirrors, it is strange, almost poetic, the elaborate fantasy of self-reflection, concealment, captivity.
Ooh, tarp mirror.
Can I look in the trash? I don't know. Tarp. At the cage, she finally cast her spell. But it was confusing, she confided at first. She took the magic doll, the magic glue, and the photo of her grandpa, and she combined them, and she wished very hard. I can only assume in this fantasy that next her wish would come true. In what child's story would it not? Where's the note? I missed the note.
You're so crunchy.
Particular human representation. Grandpa. Generic human figure. Doll. Glue together. A tangible symbol of intention and desire.
Coming back, Grandpa.
She put Grandpa in the cage, assuming that was part of the ritual. She was not clear on how it worked. What precise instructions she could glean from her grandfather's magic book was complicated by her reading comprehension. Mine too. She wished with all her heart, and then she told me that she waited a while for something, anything, to happen, and after that time, she began to cry. I cried really hard, she said. I wanted Grandpa to be back. I wanted my parents to stop being so mean. And it hurt me. It heard me wish for Grandpa to come back, for my parents to be different. I could feel it through the walls, and it felt me through the air. I asked her what exactly she meant. She could only repeat what she said. By this time, lunch was almost over. I said goodbye to Adrian, and she left to rejoin her class. I was left to consider our conversation. I believe the storytelling strategy I have employed was not unfruitful, but I must probe deeper if I can. Although I can be sure of nothing I interpret, the impressions I get may begin to help me get an idea of the right questions to ask. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to certain topics or keywords you can discuss with Grandpa. You have gained the conversation topic wish. Consider discussing this when Grandpa emerges.
I can't wait till he emerges.
You have also gained the following keyword. Shell.
Mm-hmm.
Week 2. I met again with Adrian in order to address her emotional outbursts in the past few weeks. It is our second time meeting, and while it is standard practice to have multiple sessions with a troubled student, as I assemble a report for the counseling department, I could not help but think as we sat down in my office that Adrian already seemed to show a remarkable change in self-esteem and confidence, and perhaps my and Mrs. Richardson's estimation of her as emotionally disturbed was erroneous. The paralyzing shyness and withdrawn attitude Adrian possessed last week was not entirely diminished, but she seemed to hold herself differently this week. However, this only lasted as long as our conversation pertained to initial introductory pleasantries. When I began once again asking about her parents, her feelings regarding her new school and her new home, she quickly lost what new confidence she had gathered up and withdrew again into herself. So, once again, I partook in some collaborative make-believe, but this time I was aided by the fact that I had managed to do some research into Adrian's grandfather, and I had some insight into what she might actually be finding in the basement. Now, this may be overstepping my bounds some as a school counseling caseworker, but this was all in the service of making Adrian comfortable and happy in this learning environment. In any case, I was able to dig up information regarding the grandfather by inquiring at the university in town. Not that I make it a habit of sleuthing, but I had a suspicion the grandfather was a professor there, or at least some sort of researcher. Due to the fact that the newly constructed laboratory on the campus I drive by every day bears his name in memorial. He was some sort of anthropologist, or linguist, or neuroscientist. I did not have to dig that deep before the scope of his work became dizzying, and I ran up against the limits of my undergraduate education. But back to the make-believe. What is your grandpa like? Is he a smart man?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Not anymore, but I'm teaching him.
So he's grown a good deal then? You have been feeding him well?
Yeah, he's getting bigger, but he has a lot of room in his cage.
He's still behind the bars?
Yeah, well, he might be able to climb out eventually. There's this vent in the ceiling.
Well, perhaps if he climbs out, I could meet him someday.
Yeah, maybe, but he's not ready to leave. He can take care of himself. I have to feed him, pick up after him.
Ah, you store the food in your lunchbox? That's nice of you to share.
He can almost talk.
You cannot speak with him?
He doesn't have a mouth, sort of.
But how do you feed him? That's a good question.
He has a mouth on the outside, on his shell, but it's the stuff on his skin.
I'm a little confused. Maybe you can go through a typical day with your grandpa.
Okay.
I asked her to explain how exactly she goes about growing her grandpa, and Adrian began another tale. According to Adrian, in the week that had passed, much had changed in the basement. Where'd the thing go? The hairy thing that was here before is gone. Your lunchbox is currently empty. Seek out food for Grandpa. Oh, Grandpa.
Too bad I can't call for him like, hey, Pikachu.
You should go see Grandpa first.
Okay.
Grandpa. Let's wake Grandpa. Wakey, wakey, Grandpa. It was scary at first, she said. The way he moved, the way the doll's skin covered him. I wanted to interject. This somehow seemed inappropriate, but I kept listening. When I look at him, she continued, when I think about him, he grows and moves. It's like he is growing for me. So he's growing bigger now, I asked. Yes, she said, bigger every day. Hi, Grandpa.
Looking good.
Oh, Grandpa. This begins the actual growing part of growing your grandpa. Beneath the doll's burlap skin, the follicles knit together what resembles a proper person, your grandpa. You are in charge of its cognitive development and diet until it is able to sustain itself. Currently, you are observing Grandpa. Please click the arrow back button below for a brief tutorial of your duties as a caretaker. Okay. Here we can see a variety of options regarding growing your grandpa.
Oh, you can teach him.
Highlighted in red are objectives related to feeding and teaching Grandpa. Important messages regarding Grandpa's recent activity will also appear here. Oh. You will need to find it food and learning material before you can move on to the next week. Some foods will make Grandpa happy, others merely content. Some food will make Grandpa disgusted to the point of nausea.
Oh my god.
Learning material is also scattered throughout the basement. Seek out vocabulary cards intended to help teach English and basic anthropoidic concept formation. Okay, sure. The options highlighted in red are related to navigating around Grandpa's enclosure. The Go to Grandpa option will let you perform all actions directly related to Grandpa: feeding, teaching, observing, etc. Accessing the Study Corner will let you go over any documents you pick up as the weeks go by. Oh, I can read the note. It's a good idea to learn about the work of the people who last occupied this space. Accessing the Kitchen Corner will let you search for food in the old refrigerator and prepare food for Grandpa if need be. The Help button will replay this tutorial. The Save Game button will save your current progress. You can only have one save file at a time, so if you have save data, you will be asked if it is okay to overwrite it. The Exit Game button will take you back to the main menu. More buttons may or may not appear, depending on your development of Grandpa, so watch out for them. One final note: take care to explore the basement at your leisure. However, due to the entropic nature of clutter and trash, different weeks may allow you to find things you had not previously discovered. Good luck.
So basically, this isn't that much different than like a dating sim.
I was thinking like a Tamagotchi.
Oh,
It's like you have a Grandpa Tamagotchi. You gotta feed him, take care of him. What's it called? Sweep the dusts.
yeah, baking.
Let's go to the study. I want to read that note. Is it not? Oh, yeah. Look over documents. Hastily written note.
Found it.
Read more. I have repeatedly called your homes to no avail, and so I am forced to leave this here for you all. I found William sitting in the corner of the enclosure area, seeming severely concussed. Whiskers was gone, in none of its usual hiding places. I immediately suspected the worst. The project thus must be suspended for now. I am leaving up the usual mirrored coverings we use to keep the anthropoidic void sealed. I have done my best to lock up everything on such short notice. It is a hasty fix, but it will require some time to find a more permanent remedy.
So Whiskers is an evil entity.
Whiskers is got an alien in it, I think. Yeah, I think it's like the thing, and it moved from Whiskers into the doll, and now the doll is turning into Grandpa. I'm honestly hoping you do not find this note, as I intend to lock the house down too. I intend to race off to you to retrieve your lockbox keys. Do not worry about William's key. It, and the rest of his equipment, is almost certainly deep within Whiskers now. I pray you do not enter this room, no matter how it may appear. William cannot be helped, and is only being kept alive as a means of continuing predation on the rest of us. I will say once again, no matter what state you may encounter William in, he cannot be helped. I have sympathy for the young man, I truly do, but I found on his person several photos of his late sister, which would imply certain risks he knew he was taking.
Uh-oh. So everybody's pulling a growing my grandpa.
I think so.
That's kind of fucked.
Our extant research materials have now become possible liabilities, either criminal or professional in nature, so I have stashed them away. I believe I let you all know how I might do this if we were ever to experience an event such as this. I hope you all remember what I told you. So long then, Dr. H.
Okay.
Let's look at educational poster. Oh, the alphabet. He needs that. What?
What?
My hand's stuck.
Uh-oh.
Oh. A set of procedures regarding disposal/interment. Why wouldn't I teach Grandpa ABCs? You can examine this in detail later at the study corner. Let's read it now. The researcher will seal off the enclosure bars, ensuring minimal gas leakage during the later fumigating process, and then retrieve the burn barrel and place it near the enclosure.
Yeah, why not?
Allow at least 48 hours of time where the current growth cycle experiences no human-related stimuli. Do not enter the enclosure area, nor any part of the basement. Ideally, you will not be on the grounds at all. After 48 hours, 2 researchers will enter the basement wearing their assigned mirror mask, mirror apron, and powered air purifying respirator. The researcher will use the vent system to fumigate the enclosure area, wait 30 minutes, and then use the fan system to ventilate the enclosure. Keep the fans running during steps 3 through 4. Re-enter the enclosure area wearing your assigned mirror masks and aprons. The organism may or may not be in complete dormancy. If it is not in full dormancy, be assured that its capacity to act against you will be greatly diminished. With your assigned powered drills, quickly remove any enclosure bars needed to access the organism. Put them aside for later reinstallation. 5. Put the organism into the burn barrel. Incinerate the organism thoroughly. Wait for any smoke to be properly cleared by the fan system. 6. Turn off the fans. One researcher will retrieve the nucleus from the ash and place it in the mirror box. The other researcher will sift through the ash and place any other substantial remains in the biohazard bin in the room outside of the enclosure area. The bin is locked for safety purposes. The code is 323245. Should I write this down? This came in a... Oh, I'll jot it down.
3, 2, 3.
Hold on, I don't have any lead. 323245. 323245. Okay. The researchers will fill out a termination form and leave it for Dr. Hart. You have gained the conversation topic, biohazard bin. Search file cabinet 1. Ew, worms. Cashews. It looks edible. Grandpa might like this. You think Grandpa likes cashews?
Sure, they'll be good for his development.
It was said to pass something something. Can I read this? It was said to pass from one family of steppe people to another, but pressed on its ultimate origin. Somewhere to the south, coiled in a bowl covered in incantations, buried upside down by a graveyard, a common late antiquity demon trap. The keeper, an elderly man in failing health, was ready to expound on and on about the dangers of the organism. But when I asked more pointed questions about the history of its acquisition, I was given curt responses that had a way of circling back to vague warnings. Grandpa. Vocabulary card, Grandpa. Teach Grandpa this word to read the notes of past educators. Module administrator will record details on the opposite side.
How come they've also talked about Grandpa?
Grandpa, I don't know, maybe it's like a sleeper agent word. Is that a cigar? Grandpa, I love a cigar. What are those? They're not cigars, they're trash.
Instead of feeding them, you just like let them smoke.
Yeah. No, there's nothing in here. You removed the taped down fabric to reveal the cabinet's wooden bottom. Ah. A note regarding cleanup procedures. To my colleagues. I don't mean to be overly severe in tone, but Dr. Hart's work is very important and the material we are working with is potentially very dangerous. I will be handing out a copy of this note as a reminder to everyone. I am not trying to single any particular person out. We all have misconceptions about the nature of this project from time to time. With that out of the way, here are some things to keep in mind. 1. The active growth must be thoroughly terminated via the correct procedures at the very least 4 weeks after dormancy is interrupted. It doesn't matter what you've done or haven't done regarding tests or procedures, or how much the anthropoidic vacuum has been disrupted, we are not ready to go beyond 4 weeks at this point. A step-by-step guide to termination has been posted by the enclosure wall. Please, please, please do not place the educational posters over this posting. 2. Do not disrupt the anthropoidic vacuum without Dr. Hart's prior consultation and approval. In case of any emergency where the vacuum is disrupted, put on your equipment and begin the lockdown procedure. Make an extensive note of when and how the breach occurred. 3. If you find the habitat empty, page Dr. Hart immediately, but do not attempt to speak with anyone else. This thing can get very smart. I'm sure you're all well aware from the stories we heard on our acquisition trip. The greatest caution should be used when dealing with a potential aggressive mimicry scenario. Please seek me out if you have any more questions. William. So the Thing, the like alien movie The Thing creature is it really is the Thing. It's just a mimic, right? So it mimicked the cat and now it's mimicking Grandpa because we're trying to like bring Grandpa back as a little girl. Like she wants to bring.
The guy was like trying to get in there to bring his sister back, and there was nothing said about that.
Well, that happened, and then the cat got in there, I think. So then the thing took over the guy that was trying to bring back his sister, and then the Thing took over the cat, and that's what we saw that was bristly at the beginning. I think was the cat
little
thing.
Girl is gonna be a thing.
The little girl will probably be a thing, yeah.
Calling it.
We'll see. Notation regarding sample exoskeletons. Research participants, please take note. Each growth from a cycle does not require a shell, but you may find the sample will often try and seize on something somewhat flexible it can grow into, along with any desirous yield it may generate. Okay, so what, like the doll? It wanted to go into the doll as its like quote unquote shell. Or else it will move from one shell to the next as it outgrows them. In the small amount of time I have spent with it in preparation, I have noticed it tends towards human forms. However, we should keep a tight lid on the anthropoidic. How do you actually say that? Is that a real word?
I don't know.
Anthropoidic?
It makes me think of anthropomorphism, which is like furries. So it's like anthropoidic.
Anthropoidic seal?
Like,
In order to be cautious before we begin to experiment with exposing it long term to anthropoid stimuli.
look. So anthropoid is a word.
Okay.
Meaning resembling. The word anthropoid literally means resembling a human being.
Okay, so anthropoid means resembling a human being. So before we begin to experiment with exposing it to exposing it long term to anthropoid stimuli.
Yeah, it's poid.
Yeah, like humanoid. Anthropoid. Medical imaging device. What is this?
Can you... Oh, power? We don't have notes yet. Dang, I wonder what we're gonna put in here. Ooh.
Okay. Should we go to the kitchen? Or should we...
We need to feed and teach him.
We have to feed him and teach him twice.
What's in
Okay.
the kitchen?
Well, let's check out the kitchen. Can prepare food. We can search. There's a fridge.
Let's see.
Upper fridge has, what is this? Lettuce. It looks edible. Grandpa might like this.
Pat.
Oh, a banana. Brown banana. It looks edible. Grandpa might like this.
Who wouldn't like that?
Should I prepare food? Soft fruit or vegetable? Unappealing item.
I guess you have to have
I guess, yeah, I think I need both things.
Let's just see if he likes either.
Go to Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa. Should I observe him first? Let's observe him first. You examine Grandpa, noting its movement, respiration, and general mood. Grandpa seems sort of sluggish and bored. You get the feeling it may be more content and readily cooperative once fed and taught a word or two.
Yeah, let's feed him before he gets hangry.
Would you like to view the tutorial before you start? Yes. Brief tutorial, go over the basics of feeding Grandpa. Via induction of your unprotected insula, Grandpa has simulated the production of tooth enamel to mimic a human mouth. It will need to be fed through this in order to properly learn and grow. First, you will need to select an item from the lunchbox. Click on the lunchbox in the bottom right corner. The contents of the lunchbox will be displayed. Select an item from the lunchbox. Doing so will fill your hand with this item. Note that any food can be put back into the lunchbox by clicking on the lunchbox with a full hand. Before Grandpa can be fed, it must judge the food by smell. Hover your hand above Grandpa's olfactory bulbs. If Grandpa is pleased, it will allow you to feed it.
Oh.
Most foods Grandpa will accept. However, getting Grandpa to consume other things requires some culinary deception.
Oh, that's what preparing for.
Like, yeah, putting the pill in the peanut butter.
Yeah.
When Grandpa is willing to be fed, hover your hand over its mouth and click. Grandpa will then consume the food. Good luck on feeding Grandpa. Let's feed him. You approach something.
Grandpa slid over to meet you.
Click on Grandpa's nostrils. What? If Grandpa's enticed by the smell, click on Grandpa's mouth to feed it. Yeah, you already went through this. Is that its mouth? So its nostrils are here? Okay.
Give him banana.
No, the banana's soft. We might need it for tricking him later. What do you think, Grandpa? Are you sniffing it? What's happening?
You have to click on his nostril.
Oh,
It said he's indifferent, but he'll accept it.
should I try the lettuce instead, maybe? Huh. So he's not really content with either of these.
I think he's gonna like.
Nope, indifferent to that as well.
What are you gonna feed him?
Well, let's feed him cashews. Cashews are tasty. Do y'all smell them again? Okay, here you go. Nom nom nom. The meal appears to have been sufficient.
So now observe. I wonder what else you can feed it. Yeah, observe. Uh-huh.
Grandpa seems sort of sluggish and bored.
Oh, so now he wants to.
Let's teach him. We got vocabulary card Grandpa. Sure, we'll go through this real quick. Example, this brief tutorial on teaching Grandpa pronunciation and vocalization. Vocabulary word you picked will appear in the top left corner. The bottom right corner will be a pentagon divided up into 8 sections. Section of the pentagon will be highlighted briefly. Notification sound will play, and soon another section will be highlighted. You will control a small round icon that sits above the pentagon by using your mouse. The ball is constrained to the limits of the pentagon. The goal is to keep your icon over the highlighted area and move it as the area changes sections around the pentagon. When you hold left click above the correct highlighted area, the icon will start to vibrate along with the simulated vocal cords, and the current letter of your word will begin to turn red. Keep holding over the highlighted section and adjust your icon as it changes place. Soon the letter will become fully red. After every letter becomes red, Grandpa will proudly pronounce the word to you, and it will be considered learned.
I get it, red, because you're reading it. You read it.
Maybe.
No? Was that just
Maybe. Teaching Grandpa these... well, everything else has been read too, so...
Oh.
Teaching Grandpa these words will accelerate its cognitive development and lead to further breakthroughs in general intelligence. Teach word Grandpa?
Oh, yeah.
You approach the small window. Here he comes. Hi, Grandpa.
It's down at the bottom.
What? Am I doing this wrong? What's happening?
Looks like you're getting places.
Deep within Grandpa's strange membranes phonate confidently.
Yay!
Yay, Grandpa. Having completed the lesson, you take a look at the back of the vocabulary module card and the notes there written by administrators of the past. Grandpa, part of the vocabulary and vocalization module E81 family. General pronunciation comments. Usual trouble with articulation. Voice thin/raspy, possibly underdeveloped larynx. Module comments, see below. We have done several sessions of what we are calling familial relation simulation. I and a co-researcher sit in chairs opposite the enclosure. We are wearing the usual masks and we begin to act out a scene, mostly through improvisation that might roughly resemble a kitchen table conversation between an immediate family. Repeated trials would reveal, although our simulated conversation was purposefully vague and unspecific regarding persons and identities, we would only address each other as brother, father, sister, etc., etc. It soon became apparent the encoded information and associations we unconsciously drawn upon when hearing and speaking these words was being picked up on by Whiskers and its psi-type field of reception and interpretation of brain/mind events/semantic content. My co-researcher William noticed this in a simulation where Whiskers was given a role as a sister and he as a brother. I was the father. Whiskers began responding to certain prompts with unusual specificity, as well as a general pattern and timbre of speech that continued with unusual consistency. As soon as the simulation ended and we left the enclosure area, William let me know that Whiskers was almost certainly drawing from encoded memories of his late sister. Mapping out exactly what regions and centers of neural activity are intercepted by the psi-type field will take extensive neuroimaging that we do not have at this site. Currently, we only have less precise portable equipment. However, our experiences so far are eerily in line with folk knowledge and folk explanations regarding the being's access to desires, and we can begin to infer it has access to certain portions of the limbic system and the ventral temporal cortex. You step away from the bars and store the module card at the document table. Okay. Should probably save our game. Let's feed Grandpa the lettuce. You know what? No, I'm gonna explore a little bit. Can we attempt to communicate? Let's talk to him. No response. We'll look at him again. Seems the same. Slouching under the weight of rotten refuse. Are those marshmallows? Blueberries.
Oh, I hope he likes.
I want to feed my grandpa. So that was the cabinet? Yeah. Top drawer. An account of an acquisition. Before we began, he had us all cover our faces completely, and an earthenware pot was, and on the inside, as we stole brief glances at it, we could see the interior was inlaid with mirrors. The gave it small pieces of dough, spoiled food, chicken feed, keeping it content. The keeper gestured towards the small bag where the food composted.
Copy pasta.
I've said compost before, but I'm trying to think of like what would the like
Composted, like it's just
yeah,
compost.
it's being composted. Weird. Okay. And told us to be careful not to feed it any meat. I asked if the rotting food was enough to sustain it, how it might get nutrients from any of this. The keeper regarded me seriously and said it did not matter what it was fed, the act of feeding itself was what mattered. The act of feeding flesh is another act, however. He then gave me another series of grave warnings regarding not keeping any animal-derived foods near where I might be keeping it. So I shouldn't feed it meat.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it cashews, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Safety. I need a key. Are those like faces? What are those?
They do look like. I think those must be the masks that the people wore.
Trash pile. Something about the painting looks strange. Search painting. Oh. What's this? A folder full of radiographic images.
Ooh, these are
Yeah.
table thing.
A little scanny scan. Okay, search trash pile. Fiberglass insulation. This isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however. Don't feed Grandpa insulation.
Or do?
Or do, maybe. The waste here smells particularly strong.
Let's clean up. What is the little dog?
A simple paper doll. This might be useful in the construction of magic symbols.
I wonder what kind of magic
Yeah.
we can do other than bringing Grandpa back.
Trash. Trash pile. Corroded battery. This isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however. Give him energy. Hello. Vocabulary card. Hello. Bulbous growth. Where are you seeing a growth? Something appears to be growing from the wall. You take a closer look. Ew, what is that? A pulsating sac. The slimy membrane that is its skin seems to contain something. It might be able to be opened with a blade. The darkness of the shadowy corner unnerves you. You cannot explore here without some form of light. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go to Grandpa. Wait, there was something, right? The study corner, medical imaging device, I think. You slip the radiographic images you found onto the machine's display. Ooh, what's that? Cool. Propagation number 21, day 19 after dormancy. And anthropoidic vacuum broken. Vacuum spelled wrong. Broken, yes. Term at 21 days. Notes in detail. Intriguing results with regard to the mimic hypothesis. A participant entered a sealed chamber adjacent to Whisker's growth cycle number 21, which had been freed from the anthropoidic vacuum. Constructed quite economically from plastic and broken mirrors. The first propagation's original earthenware vacuum was shattered during the move-in. Between the two, there was a semi-opaque glass panel that allowed observation both ways. The human participant was asked to think of someone in the popular consciousness, fiction or no, and cogitate on their image, personality, face if possible, voice if possible, etc. Our participant chose Jesus of Nazareth, and with weekly repeated exposures to the participant's imaginings, propagation number 21 began forming what resembled an anthropoid Nazarene in the fold of its spines. Previous human-oriented tests have always bore out a result that Whiskers would form an anthropoid team member, be it me or Dr. Hart or Gerald, and we assumed it was merely mimicking one of us. Dr. Hart has always contended the desirous yield, or the anthropoid reproduction Whiskers creates when in contact with human beings, has always been based on the conception and relation to the person through someone else. With this framework, the desirous yield is not actually a replica of a person, or if it is only a replica of the fiction of a person, generated in the mind of another. So you get that? It's basically saying that, like, whatever the person near the mimic is thinking about is what it'll, like, mimic.
Yeah.
It doesn't mimic things it sees, it mimics things that it, like, empathically picks up or something, like psychically grabs. So if we're thinking about grandpa, it's going to turn into grandpa. Or rather, it's going to turn into what the little girl thinks about grandpa.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay. This desirous yield was not Jesus Christ, but the participant's image of Jesus, assembled from their religious upbringing, religious artwork, depictions in popular culture, etc. This radiograph was taken right before the destruction of the growth cycle, while Whiskers was rendered unconscious via fumigation. It seems like with every successive propagation, the stem cells in the organism work a little faster, but I'm not paranoid. It's technically deathless, yes, but we're burning up whatever knowledge it's gained when we incinerate it. I don't believe in magic just yet. Huh. Okay. Propagation number 2. Day 0 after dormancy. Term at 6 days. We've taken it to calling it whiskers, though of course some have interpreted it as hair or needles or quills, but whiskers is more accurate, as the needles are really more like suprasensory follicles or spines. The nerve nets distributed throughout the morphology of these spines resemble those of genus Hydra, but have myelin sheaths that are functionally the same as vertebrae. As we can see in the X-ray, each spine is laden with dense optical arrangements similar to compound eyes. The Hydra connection is assuredly worth investigating with regard to the organism's capacity for regeneration and anecdotal deathlessness. It certain is a robust enough creature to inspire marvel that is not untinged with fear. So that's propagation number 2. This is propagation number 21. Number 14. 14 days after dormancy. Vacuum's not broken. Exposure to mammalian forms, part of a series of zoomorphic influences, led to further understanding of the propagation's ability to simulate the somatic stem cells that constitute fully developed animals. I write simulate in the previous statement because examining the tissue of each propagation leads me to believe its amazing capacity for accelerated growth of vastly different forms comes from its cell-level mutability. And yet, at no time does it function as the thing it becomes except in the sense that it mimics it. That is to say, when Whiskers is removed from dormancy and replicates a rabbit's morphology, it is not seeing from the rabbit's eyes nor smelling from the rabbit's nose, but pretending that it does and doing a very good job of it. This is propagation number 5. Just looks like a blob. This radiograph was taken at or around growth cycle number 4. The strange thing about it was that the subject of the image was found nowhere near the enclosure. It's almost like a piece of Whiskers fell off and scurried into the corner. Okay. I feel like are they trying to tell me that it can break into pieces and run away? I feel like we've learned a lot since then, but at the time I remember speaking about the morphology being weird, not really even resembling any extant zoomorphic structure besides maybe a cuttlefish. Then I happened to open the thing up. Inside were all these little dead amoeba like things, but they all sort of looked like they had faces that were just barely there. After I took the radiograph, I gathered it up and went to go through it in the biohazard bin. As I walked by the bars of the enclosure, I could hear Whiskers suddenly going wild, flopping around and grunting excitedly. Could it have smelled the cuttlefish thing? Would it eat its own production? I guess it's technically flesh. This is beyond the scope of the project, but it could be that without the stimulus of an active brain, or more specifically, a healthy and active brain capable of face recognition and theory of mind, Whiskers began begins to pull whatever it can from the limited data available to it. Again, this is not our focus at this time, but I left a note for Dr. Hart just in case he wanted to take a look. Okay. Was there anything else I needed to look over?
I think so. I think we're pretty much done for this one this week.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Grandpa. Oh, he's sitting in his chair. Hi, Grandpa.
He's chilling.
You examine Grandpa, noting its movement. Yeah. Seems kind of sluggish and bored. Let's teach Grandpa. Hi, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do it
Hello.
just like it.
Perfect. Good job, Grandpa. Having completed the lesson, you take a look at the back of the vocabulary module card and the notes. They're written by administrators of the past. Hello. General pronunciation comments, sloppy articulation. Module comments, see below. We are already encountering some difficulty as Whisker's subjectivity is so much more determined by a diverse and dynamic array of influences. It attempts to mimic the thoughts and desires it passively intercepts, and these imitations go on to structure the basis of its identity. Only later in Whisker's growth cycle does it begin to form an identity or identities that are coherent and capable of resembling a sane, rational human being when engaged in conversation. One must imagine how hard it would be to converse with someone who is not yet oriented in one particular way towards who or how they are, because they might have 20 different honest answers to those questions, all of them mixed and muddled together. Because of this, we have started with the basics of conversation. Greetings, partings, identifying one another, forming questions, etc., etc. It is fortunate Whisker's current growth, number 19 I believe, has developed a mostly accurate human mouth simulation. Hello was a bit of a challenge in the previous growth as it had failed to develop an adequate organ to act as a human tongue. You step away. Yeah. Well, we need to feed him. Can we attempt to communicate? No response. Feed Grandpa.
Have a banana.
You want to feed him the banana?
Oh, let him sniff the fiberglass.
He doesn't like it.
Is there anything else needed?
Battery.
He doesn't like that either. He's very particular.
Yeah, for being a newborn, he's pretty good. Does he like blueberries?
Ooh.
Finds it palatable. Yay, Grandpa. The meal appears to have been sufficient.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. We did everything.
So I should end the week.
Oh,
Let's save. End week. It's too bad we can't talk to him.
Yeah.
Yet. Grandpa. Oh, weekly summary. Food acquired. Yes. Documents acquired.
Oh my god.
Knowledge acquired this week. Could talk about language. Week 3.
Harvest Moon, Grandpa.
Mrs. Richards approached me the other day in order to remark on Adrian's development. She noted how much more at ease she appeared when called upon in class, or when asked to participate in group exercises. I told her I had seen this change happening as well, and that as much as I would like to take credit for it, I can only guess dimly at what might be reshaping her attitude.
Taking care of Grandpa.
Mrs. Richards posited that it was perhaps Adrian's family moving into their grandfather's property that caused the change. It apparently is out in the country in a wooded area full of wide open space and far from the bustle and noise of the city. The grandfather, Dr. Jacob Hart, had jointly purchased the land with the university he was employed with and began constructing what he was intending to be a satellite campus for a burgeoning psychological anthropology program he had a hand in establishing. Only one building ever ended up being constructed after Dr. Hart died in a car accident when driving back from the property one day. Eerily, at almost at the exact same time, a grad student who was assisting Dr. Hart on some sort of project at the property vanished without a trace. The property sat in disuse for years as it was tied up in legal battles between Dr. Hart's next of kin, the university, the vanished grad student's family, and the other students Dr. Hart was working with. Eventually, the case was settled out of court. Only recently did the property fall into the possession of Adrian's mother. Obviously, I was not going to relay this whole tragic story to Adrian, who, for all I know, believes her grandpa to still be living in the basement of his home. Besides, I thought she might already know all of this.
She knows. She's regrowing him. She's not stupid.
Perhaps the elaborate story she was constructing was her own way of escaping the morbid details of a life, or perhaps lives cut short by the cruel force of fate and the cynical adults who squabbled in the aftermath. I determined perhaps the storytelling she was and continues to engage in should not be encouraged by me, at least not in the way I went about it before, where I made active inquiries into her strange fantasy of a semi-sentient ball of skin.
What would you do in this situation?
If I was the counselor?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you
I
be
would-
like, I'm sending CPS to...
I would want to see Grandpa.
You would just invite yourself.
Well, I mean, maybe not me personally, but I would assume that there's some, like maybe Child Protective Services and be like, hey, something weird's going on there.
She's literally talking about being like an homunculus.
Yeah, like these are a little too specific
For real.
and weird. Like maybe just, check it out a little bit. When I saw Adrian, I did not bring up her grandpa or ask questions about his growth. Adrian could not stop talking about it, however. I had no choice but to weather her bizarre and enthusiastic effusions about her new best friend. Adrian, maybe we can talk about something else. I'm not sure I'm following you exactly.
He's gotten so many.
Oh, you want me to keep going?
Yeah, so many whiskers that come out, and I can see them move around when I think about him.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm so happy Grandpa's back. He's so much cooler than Mom and Dad.
Once again, for what it's worth, I have put down the story she told me as best I could. Adrian once again told me about growing her grandpa.
Let's get back to it. Oh, I thought that was Grandpa.
What?
The hairy thing.
Yeah, it is. It was a hairy thing here, but then it went into this vent. I guess. Into its little enclosure. What's that thing? Kiwi! Grandpa might like a kiwi. I like kiwi. Kiwi's really good. Kiwi might be one of my favorite fruits. It's definitely up there. It's like top 5 at least.
Sure, Grandpa.
How does it get so dirty down here in 1 week? We just cleaned up. Like, is like mom and dad coming down here and just throwing crumpled pieces of paper everywhere? Give that little brat something to do. It's busy work. Busy work from hell.
Cheese or corn?
The potato. Yum.
I would
Life. Life. Indecision. Oh, there's a bulbous growth on this side. Yet another pulsating sac grows in this corner of the basement.
Who are you? Getting some friends joining in on the party.
Friends. Let's
Oh, he
go.
wants to eat 3 things.
Grandpa's really hungry.
I guess that's fair.
Let's go to Grandpa.
What are we? We're still taking shape.
Grandpa's gums are bleeding slightly and its skin seems overly dry. It may need a food packed with vitamin C. A kiwi fruit would be an excellent remedy. Ooh, we got kiwi.
If you like get to manifest things by thinking about it, you could act like fiberglass has vitamin C.
Yeah.
You know, fiberglass.
Hi, Grandpa. Eat your kiwi.
He doesn't like it. Blood.
Oh, wait.
I was gonna say prepare a food. Oh.
I should prepare food?
Yeah, like mix in a fiberglass with the tasty foods.
Prepare. I was going to say, I need to search these things still. And a strawberry. I don't want to feed him those things. No. I want Grandpa to grow up strong and healthy.
Oh,
I gotta take care of my grandpa.
that's true.
We'll
give him more fruit since he needs vitamin C.
I wanna examine a little bit. There's nothing here anymore.
This is dirty.
This is dirty, yeah. Nothing in here though? Oh my god, there's money. Give me the money.
Damn it. Oh, jeez. Who keeps throwing these papers in?
That's what I'm saying. Mom and Dad's coming in here and throwing crumpled up papers everywhere.
Or it's like wasp nests.
Let's hope not.
Then Grandpa would protect you.
What do you think? He's like too stupid to protect me right now.
He'd say hello to them.
These are all the same. Okay. So we looked at the kitchen, study. Let's go back to Grandpa. So we need to feed him 2 more?
Mm-hmm.
Already forgot. 2. Okay, 2 and 2. Go to Grandpa. Feed Grandpa. Let's give him lettuce.
Just eat your damn food, Grandpa.
What's he doing? Yeah. What else do you want?
The potato and the pear are new. Or pear and strawberry.
Hard as a rock. Because it's old.
We'll try it. Huh.
Indifferent to that as well. Does he like anything?
I can't wait till he eats something he really likes.
Let's give him the strawberry.
Eat your food. Alright, time to teach Grandpa.
Teach Grandpa.
That one didn't really sound like it.
Light. What does it say? At week 3 of growth, number 24, Whiskers appeared to recall some information from a previous growth cycle. We cannot be sure that this was really the case. For all we know, what we interpreted as it recollecting this information was really it drawing semantic content from one of our recollections of it and redeploying it without rationality or contextualization. For the sake of our safety and for the sake of scientific inquiry, we are attempting to draw out from Whiskers whether it somehow retains knowledge from previous cycles in its morphalactic nucleus. We did not think it was possible the nucleus, though complex and incredible in its regenerative abilities, was capable of this, and that the nerve network that grew from it made up the base of Whiskers' mind. And so we are now attempting to ask Whiskers as best we can if it has ever died, or what it might remember if it did. All right, one more word. Teach Grandpa. He's such a good learner. Hey, he learns really quick. Great. Good job, Grandpa. Having completed the lesson, you take a look at the back of the vocabulary module card. Yeah. Articulation problems. We are introducing the latest growth of Whiskers to more subtle social cues and testing its ability to judge mental states of participants in conversation. The semantic content that flows to Whiskers via its psi field is still becoming muddled and slipped without distinction into conversation, although our intention of instilling in it a solid theory of mind will perhaps make it begin to understand that we do not know what it knows, or know what we are, without our control, sending to it. One would think a theory of mind seems to develop as part of its maturation process. In order to hunt sapient beings, it must be able to deceive them. In order to deceive it, must be able to make a certain metacognitive judgments. For example, if their deception appears to be working, or how one ought to be deceived. We may never see it develop a theory of mind anytime soon, as Dr. Hart has disallowed a cycle of Whiskers' growth to live into the beginnings of maturity. So are we going to? Accidentally? Because they would kill Whiskers after like 4 weeks or 5 weeks, right? And start the cycle over again. So it was always kind of an infant. So I wonder if the little girl, not knowing any better, is going to let it grow.
Or she's gonna be like the crying baby with the gun.
Yeah, maybe.
Kill Grandpa.
Kill Pop. End week.
Both an easy week.
Yeah. Getting the hang of this.
Yeah, Grandpa time.
Grandpa time.
Clicky.
I always think it's going to go automatically.
Oh, you forgot to see if he'd communicate with you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this week.
The time I have to spend compiling an evaluation on Adrian is almost up, and I still can't say what to make of her changes in mood. It is, of course, the case that children of Adrian's age are nowhere near finished learning and growing. I may have to simply be happy that Adrian was able to improve her attitude. However, something in the odd and occasionally grotesque stories she continues to bring up to me still strike me as meaningful. How has your week been, Adrian?
Grandpa's almost ready. He's almost finished. Well, sort of.
Ah,
He's almost as big as his shell now. He has a face, he can talk pretty well, and almost has legs.
I see. As before, I have put down the story she told me as best as I could. Once again, Adrian told me about growing her grandpa.
Gotta clean your trash and whoopee.
Bar soap. This isn't really food. Grandpa might eat it, however.
Bet you can't clean.
Clean grandpa. Yeah, we need to clean our grandpa.
Hello.
Bulbous growth looks the same.
It said it can easily be up to the sharp edge. You have an item like that?
Mm-mm.
Do all this shit. You're not even doing it. Stop. Oh.
Meaning. 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 Good job, Grandpa. Something in here?
Still don't have a key.
I have no key.
What?
What? I thought I cleaned you.
Done goofed.
I gotta do it for completion's sake.
Yeah. You gotta keep a clean work area.
Oh, there's a bulbous growth here now. I need a sharp edge. What can I use? Potato. Flatbread. Give me this. Clean up, clean up. The hell's that thing?
Looks like a mushroom.
Oh, it is a mushroom. Symbol. What the?
Oh, bulbous growth.
If we get another picture, we can try and make another one.
Hmm.
3 and 2.
Save.
I'll still have to look through the drawers and stuff. Jackfruit.
Are those the stinky ones?
I don't know.
Or is that-
I don't know.
You know nothing.
I know nothing. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Me stupid. Me no brain. Me just clean trash.
Oh, I hope he talks to us.
Yeah, talk to us, Grandpa.
Subject.
Hey, Grandpa.
Oh,
Oh, he looks so
yeah.
much better. He looks like a person, kind of. He looks fatigued and almost anemic.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps it would be more cooperative if fed an iron-rich meal like meat. We can't feed him meat.
You don't understand, Adrian. We can't do that.
What should we feed him? Should we feed him a battery?
Oh, now we'll do.
That's iron, right? Oops. Grandpa. Let's feed him.
Ooh. Like
Yummy. He won't eat it. Eat your battery. I gotta make a battery. Banana battery. Oh, hi, Grandpa. He's standing up. He's really tall. Let's give you concealed battery. Uh-oh, it's causing indigestion. Sudden lurch, Grandpa empties its stomach onto the floor. What did I do?
You made him throw up.
Oh, plaintive whine. Oh no.
Aww.
Oh, sorry, Grandpa. What did I do?
Oh my god.
One of 3 acceptable foods eaten. Uh-oh. Can I explore the vomit? Guess not. I'm sorry. Oh, examine stomach contents. A key.
Oh my god.
This might help you explore. Yes, take that.
We know where it's at. We know where it's at.
I'll be back, Grandpa. No response. I'll be back. I'll be back. How do I leave? Leave, Grandpa. You try the safe's lock with the key you found, and it pops open.
Oh look, we get another
A
picture.
picture, a photo of your mother as a young woman. We can make a mommy. The recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche.
Wow.
Look at the wallet.
I don't want this shit. Just the mom. Oh my god. You're gonna do it right away?
Shouldn't I?
I don't know.
I'm doing it. Tangible symbol of intention and desire.
Oh, is it gonna go on one of the notes?
Oh, maybe. Hey, Grandpa. Can I need to feed him. Offer mother doll?
You didn't save, so I wouldn't do that.
Okay, let's save the game. Offer mother doll.
Oh.
He is not interested at the moment. Let's instead feed him.
Eat your damn food.
Eat your food, Grandpa. Don't complain. Do you want jackfruit?
Yay.
Okay, now let's teach Grandpa. Meaning.
Potato.
Water. Uh-huh. Okay. We further delve into abstraction with Whiskers, partially, or perhaps for the most part, for the purpose of determining the origin of its recollections that precede its death. Dr. Hart has begun to theorize that in the process of death, the structure of Whiskers is compressed back into the morpholactic nucleus, and then later, upon reestablishing the nerve netting that is laced through its spines, is slowly reassembled and redeployed as needed. I do not think this is the case, for I can plainly see that 4 growth cycles in which Whiskers is not receiving our pronunciation and vocabulary lessons, that its capacity general for comprehending its environment is greatly diminished, and in the conversations we carry out, Whiskers struggles greatly or else does not participate. In any case, we will press on with our lessons and heed Dr. Hart's caution regarding terminating the growth cycle before Whiskers' allotted growth time passes, or if it appears to be becoming just a little too competent at appearing human. You step away from the bars and store the module card at the document table. Symbol. Meaning general pronunciation comments, there's nothing. Module comments, there appears to be nothing written here, or if there was, it was thoroughly erased. Oh, that's weird. So, is that everything then? Save the game real quick. Oh, hi, Grandpa.
Cool.
Communicate? No response.
Oh my god.
Observe. Still doesn't want the mother doll. Did I miss anything in observation? Or not observation, but like searching the basement? Okay. What's in the week then? Oh, right, I have to click. Food acquired, bar soap, da 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 da. Documents acquired, yes, yes. Week 5. So this is when they would normally terminate their experiment. What? Where is she? Who could that be? Come in. Ah, Adrian, good to see you. Aren't you a little early? No matter. I suppose I have some time now. How have you been? How is your grandpa doing? That's why I wanted to talk to you. Something happened. Oh, what happened? Nothing bad, I hope.
No, nothing bad. Just different, I think. Maybe even good. Well, I'll tell you about it. Well, last night, something woke me up. There was this noise at first. It was like it came from the walls. I could hear it from my bedroom, but there was something else. Something calling. I could hear it just barely. I was afraid somehow Grandpa hurt himself. I had to go find out. I went downstairs in the vent, the place where I first found Grandpa, or what I grew him with. It was open. Do you remember how I told you about the vent in the ceiling behind the bars? I was thinking he climbed up into it. He had gotten so big he could have done that. Maybe he had gotten trapped somehow in the vent. I had to go see.
Oh, we went into the vent. Okay, go into the vent.
I got inside. I I heard the calling again. More clearly this time. Grandpa was definitely in the vents somewhere.
Get out of there, Grandpa.
I could feel him hearing my thoughts. I got that weird feeling, a sense in the air. I had to go forward.
Ew.
As I moved in closer, the vent had stuff in it, the kind of slimy, hairy stuff Grandpa would leave around a lot. He was definitely close.
Grandpa. Are you stuck, Grandpa? What is that?
Something was there at the end. But it wasn't Grandpa. It looked maybe like he made it, though.
Do you want the mom doll? It's like, hello.
It was slumped in the corner, had a weird mouth, and it had its lungs on the outside and drew in just enough air to call out. And then it just stopped. Stopped breathing. And then something was hanging over me.
Oh my god, it's a thing. What?
And then I woke up in my bed.
In your bed? Adrian, it sounds like it was just a quite dreadful dream. Are you all right, by the way? Your face is twitching, like you're about to have a violent sneeze. Yeah, she's infested. Okay, guy?
I'm fine. It's just Grandpa, you see. It took me a little while to figure out, but later, when I was brushing my teeth, I saw one of Grandpa's whiskers poking just out of the space under my eye. And I started to remember how in the vent he hid inside of me. It was so fast I could barely remember, but soon I started to feel him sliding around in my head, behind my forehead, and behind my eyes and nose. It doesn't hurt at all. It's just ticklish. I'm glad I can be with him. Oh, I can feel him now. I think he wants to meet you. Part of him is moving down my arm. Oh.
But she's gonna turn the apple. She's gonna age the apple. It's gonna turn into a worm. I'm starting to get worried, Adrian. You really should not be twitching like this. I should walk you to the nurse's office. Come on, let's go.
You should really meet him. I've told you so much about him. Here.
What are you doing? Adrian, you're starting to look very ill.
Please, just wait. Just stay still. He's gathering, waiting at my fingertips.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Why do you look... Oh,
Why do you look like that? You don't have to be afraid. Look.
loading.
That's the scariest thing of all. No, please don't break.
Is it...
It's got Grandpa fingers.
Oh, there are two endings in growing my grandpa. You got the failure of fulfillment. What? What happened? I got the bad ending. How- How'd I get the bad ending? To skip credits and acknowledgements, return to the main menu, hold down right mouse button. Okay, got it. Growing my grandpa. Was there something I could have done like at the end here?
He didn't like talking to us either.
No, he didn't want to talk to us at all. Should I have terminated him? I couldn't cut any of these either. I'm definitely missing stuff. Like, I need a light bulb? Where do I get a light bulb? I need some sort of flashlight or something. Maybe I needed to feed him an iron-rich meat. I don't know. What do you want, Grandpa? What do you want from me? Grandpa's too full. He wants something exciting. He doesn't want my food. Oh, Grandpa. I have no idea how to get the good ending. I definitely like missed something to chop it with. I need like a blade or something. Like a piece of glass, maybe? How are you gonna conceal a bar of soap inside of a potato? It'd just be a bar of soap. Do you want these now? Uh-huh. Okay, I fed him a bar of soap and he threw up. Did that do anything for me? Oh my god, there were scissors in there. So I have to make him throw up multiple times.
That's fucked up.
Scissors are food if you're brave enough. I guess. Okay, I think we're on the right track for the good ending. Let's see if a third throw up gives us another, like a flashlight. We need a flashlight still. Yeah, okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so now we can cut open these bulbous growths. I don't know if I want to do that yet. Look, and there's more stuff here. Another paper doll. I wonder if maybe I have to like restart. My voice sounds nostalgic or a storyteller voice. Well, I'm I am not a storyteller. I can barely read. I'm sorry. Read now. On the what? See, I'm telling you, I can barely read. On the virtue of the prudent when dealing with devils, seen or unseen, the splendors and terrors of God's creations inhabit the world of both seen and unseen. And just as one will not grapple with a lion lest they be a fool, one will not approach a being of the mind or ether without foreknowledge thereof. There are beings with no form, hiding between towering columns of air and only appearing by slipping into the heart or mind of evil and unclean men. What am I reading? This doesn't make any sense. It's just like ye old text saying that there might be ghosts or goblins. Do you think you can try an accent? I can do an accent, yeah. I can do my accent. I'm really good at my accent. But still, are there more beings? Okay, hold on. I gotta focus in. But still, are there more beings which straddle the realm between the seen and unseen creatures, feeling through the air to see the heart of mind of men? It is only by God's grace and his angels and servants crushing these beings under heel that a magician might compel them to the magician's will. And so a magician must be perfectly clear and unerring in intent and ritual granted to us by God, or else the devils, seen or unseen, will devour them, that being their nature. On the nourishing of devils of a particular type. Certain devils of a particular nature are nourished by the element of fire, others by attention and prayer given to their idols, still others by stranger and more obscure means. By God's grace, the requirement for nourishing a devil as part of a contract only requires a token of these givings. That is, a symbol. So, hold on, wait. Are they trying to say that, like, I'm making these little dolls. I've got a mom doll. I'm assuming I can probably make like a father doll. So are they saying that he can be nourished by the symbols? Is that? I don't know. If a devil hungers after flesh and would strip a man to his bones in its devouring, the devil's hunger and nature which thirsts for flesh can be held in abeyance in the ritual act of giving blood in only a few drops. However, the contract must be completed in full. For if the magician errs and does not provide in the devil instruction and guidance, the devil abjured once abjured to do no harm upon the magician, will return to its devouring nature. I feel like some of these things that I'm reading could actually be saying anything. Oh, I have the code. Hold on, I wrote this code down.
Yay!
I wrote this down on paper. I totally forgot about this. 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5. The lid unlocks, and with some effort, you move the heavy lid off the bin. You have a perfect storyteller voice. Thank you. Maybe I'll read some books. Do audiobook reading. A photo of your father as a young man. Damn, my father was like a rock and roll, like a lead singer or something in a rock and roll band. The recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche. So we could do this. And then I'm kind of nervous. Oh, it did it automatically. You carefully make an incision into the growth with your scissors. Is it Claude Van Damme? Might be. It's now possible to take a look inside. Ooh, what's inside? In the oily cavity, a powerful smell of rot arises, and many small, increate beings lay motionless and dead. However, you just barely hear the near-silent slithering of something, or maybe it was just your imagination. Ew! Clean up. So juicy. Ah, what is that? It's a creature. Anthropoid Remnant 1, a self-sufficient animal form knit together from years of ambient thoughts left to crawl around the basement. Grandpa may enjoy the flesh. Little friends. Will Grandpa enjoy the flesh?
That looked like the one that was in the medical image.
Oh yeah, it did look like the one that was in the medical image. True, true. I like old games. I like all games, including old games, yes. You carefully make an incision. Let's do it again. All right, what's in here? Same stuff? Just a little goober.
Where are you? More friends.
I will find you, little friend. Oh my god, little friend. I gotta clean up the whole mess. I'm sorry. Remnant 3. A self-sufficient animal form knit together from years of ambient thoughts left to crawl around the basement. Grandpa may enjoy the flesh. It doesn't say it's clean. Oh, I got it. No? Is there another one? Aha! Another incision. Inside. Oily, powerful smell of rot. Yep, same. Same. So, yeah, I wonder if I messed up. I might have to do this over. So maybe I need to feed him flesh every day or every week. A wriggling human-like grub.
Pickles while watching the girls' game.
You can eat pickles. Let's save real quick. I don't think we can do this yet. I wonder if we can study them. Don't think so. I have 2 dolls and he's not interested in either of them.
Well, something we supposed to like feed him a lot?
Don't know. Let's feed him the flesh. I bet he'll be really interested in it. Yeah, he's excited by the flesh. What happens? Ooh, particularly well received. Offering a flesh stirs something within Grandpa. From within the folds of its body, a wiry proboscis-like appendage begins to emerge. It may be worth taking a look at this after the feeding. Knowledge you have recently acquired, giving you access to new conversation. Proboscis. I want to see the proboscis. So we're supposed to observe him now, I think. Let me look, Grandpa. Let me look. Observe him. Examine him. He appears content and ready to cooperate. Oh, will he talk to me now? Examine proboscis. Motion to Grandpa to approach and point to the thin protuberance. Protuberance? Grandpa silently ambles closer to the bars and fully extends it towards you. Ew. A minuscule needle extends from its tip. There appears to be one more thing you must give, if only for the sake of propriety.
Your blood. Yep.
Oh my god, what's he gonna do with my blood? Wait, did he go inside? Grandpa has appreciated your blood offering. It will receive a symbol or totem from you now, although only one per offering. As the blood-fed proboscis retracts back from the folds of fabric, you step away from the bars.
Talk to him.
Can we talk to him, you think?
Attempt to communicate.
Grandpa accedes to your request. It approaches the bars and begins to unknit its skin. The inner Grandpa, though still not fully formed, is revealed. It may be fruitful to speak with it if it can respond.
Hi.
Hi, Grandpa.
The inner Grandpa's very small.
Should we ask about his wish? Let's ask about wish. Grandpa loudly clears its throat before gently responding in a lucid, well-projected voice. Ah, you're asking me about your wish? When you wished for me to come back, that's when I knew I would. Your desperation was strong, and your wish for your parents, well, you give me what I want, I'll give you what you want. You know I love you. I am for you whatever you want, and I love you just as much as you love me. But desperation and love is not enough. Just this rattling in the pickle jar is getting like you're fishing really hard for them.
Yeah.
Like trying to understand what's going on in the game. It's like ching cling 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 cling. Pickles.
Pickles.
Oh, he's eating pickles while saying all this? Okay. But desperation and love is not enough. People deep down know they can't get what they wish for without some transformation. There is something that sits at the root of everyone's soul that understands the separation between them and eternity. You may desire something, but you know you will not get it without some movement on your part. So it is not enough to just wish, which you know will not work. You must wish and a little more to transform your intention into something that might
Fructify.
fructify? Shouldn't it be? Whatever. Or for desire to become reality. You can ask about a shell, biohazard bin. Well, you can ask about everything. Let's just go in order, I guess. Grandpa loudly clears its throat before gently responding in a lucid, well-projected voice. You're asking me about my shell. Oh, well, you see, I like to have something to grow in, something shaped like a person. It just helps to have something surrounding me when I don't have skin. My whiskers do the growing. My whiskers? Yes, you know, the hairy little things. I am a part of it, and it is a part of me. However, my whiskers are what heard you wishing for me to come back, and so they went to work in the shell you provided. The shell also helps you envision me as what you desire. You have such a nice imagination. If I weren't in my shell, you'd have my whiskers exposed and knitting together my face. That might interrupt the feedback loop of my reading your desires. And then acting upon the desires I've read, and then once again reading your reaction. We wouldn't want that interfered with. The material of the doll you put down is good fit. It's not the most comfortable, but it's quite flexible, and thankfully my shell was able to adjust nicely to my growth.
Oh, that's good.
Biohazard bin. Ah, you're asking about the medical waste bin. I believe it's locked up. I heard them punch it in the code many times as they placed part of burnt up, dying self into the bin. They often forgot what the code was and had to go check on the wall where they were always taping up sheets upon sheets of information, so much so that the new papers would cover the old. What do you think you would find in there? Well,
Like
how does he look like Spampton?
the big cheek and nose with the big chin.
I'm not seeing it. I think his mustache is like distracting me too much.
Where's his mustache?
The dark things above his lips,
Oh,
they're like wiry,
he's
like
got a Klingon mustache.
yeah, it's like a Klingon mustache. Exactly. Okay, where was I? I don't think I read any of this. Well, perhaps something. They did throw trash inside from time to time, bits of paper and so forth. I remember seeing a man who looked quite like me. His daughter had given him a photo of her new boyfriend. He threw it into the bin in disgust and joked with one of his colleagues. It may still be in there for all I know. Ask about language. Why? Okay, so why can this one talk really well, but the
That's what
other
I don't
one
get
can't
either.
talk at all? It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you're asking about language. Well, the more you taught me, the more I was able to learn myself by hearing what you are thinking and saying. A week ago, I could speak a little bit, but I was less of what you imagined me to be and not quite the talker I am at the moment. Part of what I am saying is, of course, made up of what you expect me to say. I think I'm very comfortable being open and honest with you because I am your grandpa, and I love you, and certainly that makes up part of what I am. However, there's a part of me deeper down, the thing that created me maybe, that undying nucleus. It is answering for me as well and is unaffected by whoever might shape what I become with their thoughts.
Ooh,
Ask
little
about
friend
little friends.
that you ate.
Grandpa loudly clears its throat before gently responding. Oh yeah, same. Oh, you're asking about my little friends? Well, yes, they come from me. They grow around me in pockets of flesh and protoplasm. Think of them like dreams, maybe? I'll explain. Have you ever had a dream that was sort of like a bunch of people, places, and events you experienced all mixed together and jumbled up? It's a sorting through and disposing of the refuse of the mind. My little friends are like that, refuse, and in ridding myself of them, I am casting off the excess material I did not use in developing life forms.
So why'd you eat them again?
Anyone who comes close to me, well, they are my eyes, my nose, my skin. Their thoughts become mine and shape what I make. However, when I was alone for so long, I didn't have a lot of people near me. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? And so, because I did not have enough input from my surroundings in order to put the material to use, the material falls off my body, crawls away, and usually dies.
Wow.
I'm able to make the most of my material when someone is looking right at me, projecting who I will be, like you are now. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? Yeah, I get it.
Let me ask about your nose.
Grandpa's probus. Oh, it's proboscis.
Yeah, it is.
Well, is that spelled right? Proboscis? Proboscis. Okay. Oh, you're asking me about my proboscis. It is just a little tube I keep to help me feed on blood. You could say it is my real mouth. but it's not really a mouth. It appeared because you fed me flesh, one of those little friends you found, I think. You feeding me flesh was a symbol of a proposition, if you will, that you wanted to hold up your end of the bargain with regards to your wish. If someone is willing to hold up their end of the bargain and let me feed on them with my proboscis, then they can move on to the next step of the agreement, providing me symbolic instructions. I hope that helps clear things up. Oh, you have another question? Do I like the blood? Well, my whiskers, I believe they like the blood and the flesh. It's strange. They are me, and yet they are now me. Not me, probably. I am bound to them. They control me, and technically, yes, they did make me. However, you were the one who really grew me. In some ways, those whiskers, they are me, or a part of myself, or I am a part of it. That part is much more animal-like. Whatever might happen, know that I will always love you, and because it controls me, I might not be able to act how I would like, even if I do love you.
Uh-oh. That's a warning.
That's a warning for sure.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Grandpa.
He doesn't know politeness yet.
No. You approach the bars and hold out the mother symbol you created. Grandpa's spines quickly reach out and envelop the doll before drawing back. The doll quickly vanishes within the folds of Grandpa's skin. Constructing and then offering your mother's image to Grandpa, symbolically sated by blood, instills in you a concrete sense of completion. Grandpa gives a soft, affirming grunt as it senses deep within your mind the ritual transformation of your desire. Although Grandpa must receive both a mother and father totem before the fulfillment of your wish is assured.
Is she basically gonna kill her parents to bring back Grandpa?
No, I think she's killing her parents. She brought back Grandpa, who can kill her parents and replace them with better parents.
Ooh.
Because her parents are crap. And she's like, I hate them.
He only wants one parent at a time?
I don't know. Maybe I can feed him again. More flesh. Grandpa seems excited. Ooh. Here you go, Grandpa.
Love it. Oh, he's bringing the schnoz out.
Okay.
That's a good thing, because I think you need to give them the blood sacrifice to give the doll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me look at your schnoz.
So we'll do this again, and then we'll give the other doll.
And hopefully get the good end.
Appreciates, yeah. Though I should probably read this real quick. I'm gonna read over this again. Because this is basically like saying everything that we're doing. No form hiding between towering columns of air, slipping the heart of mine. Still, there are more beings. Da 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 da. So we're the magician in all this. Must be perfectly clear and unerring in intent and ritual granted to us by God, or else the devils, seen or unseen, will devour them, that being their nature. So if we don't want to get eaten, devoured, we need to be really careful. Certain devils of a particular nature are nourished by the element of fire. Oh, and they've kept incinerating them. Others by attention and prayer given to their idols. Still others by stranger, more obscure means. By God's grace, the requirement for nourishing a devil as part of a contract only requires a token of these givings. That is, a symbol.
Mom and Dad.
If a devil hungers after flesh and would strip a man to his bones in its devouring, the devil's hunger and nature, which thirsts for flesh, can be held in abeyance in the ritual act of giving blood in only a few drops, which we've been doing. However, the contract must be completed in full, for if the magician errs and does not provide in the devil instruction and guidance, the devil, once abjured to do no harm upon the magician, will return to its devouring nature.
I
Okay.
think you're doing everything.
Yeah, I think I'm doing all of it right. So let's go back to Grandpa, give him the doll. He reaches out, he grabs it, brings it into his skin, constructing this and doing that, instills you a sense of completion. Grandpa gives you, that senses deep within your mind the ritual transformation of your desire. Although Grandpa must receive both the mother and father totem before the fulfillment of your wish is assured. We did that. Knowledge you recently acquired has given you access to a new conversation topic to discuss with Grandpa. Completed contract.
We did it.
So let's communicate again.
Hello, inner grandpa.
So let's talk about completed contract.
Hey, bro.
Thank you so much for completing the contract. I'll definitely help you out with your parents. Just give me a just give me a little time and I'll be ready to act. I think you'll be very happy. Your grandpa's very happy too. I should do a grandpa voice, right?
It's too late.
You did well. You did it all by yourself, you know. Couldn't have helped if you tried it. If I tried, I don't know what I'm saying.
Stop.
No. I could do it. I could do it. I could do it. I would have really not have liked to. I did not want you to complete the contract. I would have hated that. But do you understand why I would have had to? Maybe it's so much of your lives are made up, and yet what comes to pass is always what's a fiction. What's this voice? Who's that? Is that nobody? That's nobody. Okay. I felt like that was somebody.
Somebody died.
Why is it somebody dying? That was a healthy man in his early 90s. He was fine. The height of his life. He was in his prime. So much of your lives are made up, and yet what comes to pass was always once a fiction. You doubt yourselves and your plans before they are even begun. And you believe what is in front of you as if the essence of things was not something you put there long ago. Too much doubt can suffocate even the surest thing. Only with patience and growth and pickles does something become what it will be.
Yeah.
As you soon shall see.
You shall soon see. Bye, Grandpa.
Okay, bye, Grandpa. What do we need to do? Are we done?
That was it.
Save my
Unless there's
game?
something-
I think that's all. Okay, so we save.
You cut all the things.
I cut all the things. I checked the corner with the flashlight. I think this is
Grandpa ate
everything.
a metric fuck ton.
Wait. Can't we feed him more flesh?
Why?
I don't know.
Like, might as well.
Might as well.
Woo. Yummy. Is this the final proboscis offering?
I don't know. I guess. I guess I don't know. I don't know that I need to do this a third time, but I have the flesh, so I might as well, right?
Why did it say that? Did you see that?
Nuh-uh, what?
What? Where'd it go? It said
What?
Grandpa's proboscis is out. Why is it telling you that like it's exciting?
I don't know. Yay!
Newsflash.
This just in. I guess I'll touch it again. I don't know if I need to, but might as well? Question mark.
Wonder if you get a bad end if you don't give it. Bye.
Grandpa's accepting totems. So is there maybe a third totem I can get?
That's what I'm wondering, but I don't know where it'd be at if there was one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Clicky.
We will assume that I'm doing this right.
Ton.
Okay. Good ending?
That's the good. We took good care of Grandpa.
We did. Are you gonna ever stop eating pickles? You're gonna like die. Do I need to feed you? Are you hungry?
No, I just want pickles.
You ate a whole jar of pickles.
There weren't hardly any left.
You
Just
ate a
worry about
whole
his game.
jar of pickles and now you're drinking pickle juice.
So?
I'm worried about you.
You want some?
No, I'm worried about you. Do you want me to feed you?
No, I'm not hungry. I want pickles.
All right. I don't know. You like.
I'm the creepy grandpa in the basement.
Why don't you just drink it?
I don't like drinking from it.
Okay.
I have my method. This is my proboscis.
It's your proboscis drinking pickle juice. Got it. I met with Adrian one final time in order to see if I could not reach some sort of resolution regarding her emotional trouble. In these past few weeks, according to the reports of her teachers and peers, she has shown a remarkable transformation in conduct. I would also add my voice to this consensus. It seems as if in our time together, much has changed for the better. I am not suggesting our meetings were the sole source of her sea change. What? I think something has happened in her home life that has reoriented Adrian completely.
It was Grandpa.
She seems to suggest as much, at least in her usual esoteric way, when we last spoke. She still looks like a freak. Something tells me something may have changed with Grandpa. Yes, well, something did change.
Look, she isn't,
Yeah, she's not all twitchy.
or stuttered.
I will write down her words verbatim here. I went down the stairs like I always did, but I sort of felt like something was different. My parents weren't arguing, and I felt something had changed with Grandpa, too. There was a weird noise, but I wasn't afraid.
Yeah. Nothing.
The grate's still there, so Grandpa's in here?
Oops.
Oh.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
What is happening?
Killed your mom and dad.
I think Grandpa had to leave, but before he left, he made my parents nice. He reached inside and changed them. That was my wish. Oh no, Grandpa. Maybe even what I was growing wasn't really my grandpa. Grandpa left what I was growing behind.
Shit happens.
He's gone now. He moved quickly out to I don't know where, but I'll always love him. I dismissed Adrian soon after, letting her know it was a pleasure getting to know her. Despite my apprehensiveness about the speed of the turnaround she has made, I cannot see any reason why Adrian should be considered for further evaluation. And as a counselor for Adrian, let it be known that I believe she is of sound mental and emotional health.
Oh, okay.
I am pleased to see things turn out this way, and if I may make a brief addendum.
I'm also a grandpa.
By happenstance, Miss Richardson bumped into the Hart family the other day while running an errand. She told me the parents were a little odd, but very pleasant, and quite clearly they adored their child. And that she had never seen Adrian happier.
I think you won.
I did it! Happy end.
Cool. We did it. Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah. There are two endings in Growing My Grandpa. You got the fulfilled contract ending. So I've seen them both now. Yay!
Yay. Thanks, Yames. So what did you think of Growing My Grandpa?
What did I think of Growing My Grandpa? I think Growing My Grandpa was a really interesting, fun little game. I think I would have liked to have seen... the game told completely through the perspective of the little girl. I think that would have been better than the kind of report from the counselor.
I didn't like it because it felt like so uncaring, which I believe.
Yeah.
But it's just it just doesn't fit with the desire of the little girl.
Yeah. No, but that complaint isn't I don't want to detract from how good the game is. The game's good. The game is definitely good.
Super fun.
It was rather short. What we saw everything in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and we paid $2.70 for it.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I mean, it's priced well for what it is. It was fun though. I really like the concept. Like I like both the concept of the gameplay, like, oh, you're like basically like an abused child put in the basement to clean up trash and you like find him like a monster. Like that like premise is really interesting to explore. Um and then on top of that, like the way that the game is done in a way that's like, okay, feed your grandpa, get to know him, and at the same time you're getting to know the little girl. It's like kind of a neat balance. I feel like I would have liked a couple of more discoveries of the girl, like knowing more about her life. But I mean, it was still great. I'm not gonna
I would
complain.
have liked one more week.
One more week.
Because then
Yeah.
you could have had more fun getting him to talk, getting him to grow up.
That's true. Having grandpa become like talkative, I think would have been nice. Like a couple of weeks of him. But I think honestly, I think we found that too late. I think we could have made him talkative
If we
like
would've found
week 2 or week 3.
the creatures.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like he only wanted to talk after eating creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, which means I need the scissors, which means I need to make him throw up early. And I think I could have made him throw up
Yeah, you're just
week
too
1,
nice.
week 1 and week 2 and week 3. I think each week there was an extra thing that he wouldn't have liked.
That's not your fault. You loved him too much.
Yeah, I loved my grandpa.
Didn't want to make him throw up.
True. Good old grandpa. What did you think of the game, like overall?
It's really like, I know it's supposed to be spooky, but it's like a really fun balance that they found rather than spooky.
Yeah. I didn't really see any spook. I kind of adored him. Like I liked that grandpa. He's so cute. He was like a little buddy.
Yeah, it's like, how can you go wrong being like, oh, I gotta teach you how to talk. I gotta like feed you.
Yeah.
And just like yeah, like trying to see what happened before he came about was kind of spooky, but knowing that she was like really sad and lonely and neglected, it was just like, well, this is good. It's good to have a spooky potato friend.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it. I saw it like labeled as like a point and click, and I was like, huh. Like looking at the screenshots. This might be interesting, and so I really wanted you to try it sight unseen.
Yeah, it was fun to try with knowing nothing about it.
I know. I'm glad I told you. I'm only sad it was so short.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's like the only downsides to all of it. Was the length. The length and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I think like a couple of extra weeks and maybe a little extra like plot surrounding the girl, and it would have been
Yeah.
like
Didn't even have to do lab stuff.
no.
You could just do kid stuff.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, just a little more insight into her life. Yeah. Yeah. But hey, for $2, $3, that was great. Do recommend.
Are you gonna play Leaguey?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Feed you some food instead of pickles.
I was just enjoying them.
I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna get myself some water. I'm gonna get you some water.
I just got some.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
But you're not
But-
gonna stream.
I'm not gonna stream. Stream is ending. I appreciate everybody hanging out for this short little stream and this fun little game. Thanks for coming along. Okay, honestly, my voice is like wrecked because that was a lot of reading.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was
Sorry.
a ton of reading, and you didn't help me at all with it.
I
Shake
wasn't
my head.
expecting it. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna rest my voice. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Maybe play Elden Ring.
Maybe. But we'll talk about that in a bit. All right, guys, that's it for the stream. Appreciate you. I will catch you on the next one, which maybe is tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, really quick. I was planning on playing Elden Ring on stream, but for some reason it keeps breaking. Whenever I turn on OBS, Elden Ring will just like stop working. So unless I can fix that, Elden Ring's off the table, so it'll be either Star Control, Kingsfield 3, or I might do like a little Diablo, Path of Exile Diablo playthrough, like a restart, because I enjoy those games and they're really easy for me to just like chill and play. So it might be one of those on like just kind of a random day, in between like Star Control and all that stuff. So that's it. I actually might be back tonight for like a little Diablo, like a chill Diablo stream or something. But don't hold your breath for that. That's like a 50-50. It may or may not happen tonight. And that's it. Love you guys. Stay safe. Take care of each other.